We're going to do some collar sleeve control, but for warm up today we're just going to start with double sleeve. So Power's going to take double sleeve on me and he's going to go to my biceps for the start. So 2 feet on the biceps. I'm just going to show my job first and then we'll switch roles, okay? My job is going to be move, rotate him side to side, pummel my hand inside like this, forcing him to re-pummel. Come in here, forcing him to make space here now, move a little bit on his hip. Yeah, and you can change feet position all the time. So what we're going to do, there's three things I'm going to teach you today with spider guard that are going to be like really fundamental. Foot position, grips, and movement. This one is a drill that we're going to do to start with. It's going to be like movement, okay? But I'm going to emphasize foot position and grips as we go. So my 2 spider grips are my hook grips. Okay, turn the sleeves, the cuffs. So you've got a good hook grip. We're going to always have 1 foot straight and 1 knee bent. Okay, 1 knee straight and 1 knee bent. And we're always going to have contact. So from here, let's start on the biceps. So from here, look, I'm on 1 hip. This hip clear off the ground. Like, I'll even exaggerate. I'll go like here. So I don't really do this. And if I want to switch sides, I'm going to turn right to the other side here like this, so that the other foot goes straight and the other knee bent. So in general, not always, we're going to think about 1 straight, 1 bent. The reason being, you can see that Porrick's posture is pretty crappy when that happens. If I bend both, he's got good strength. If I straighten both, I've got nothing. Okay? So 1 bent, 1 straight gives you this. Okay? So, what's going to happen as we go in our first drill? We're going to put the timer on, just 1 minute. Porrick's going to move around. He's going to try and move my grips off. If he does that and I lose one, I re-pummel it, I gain it again. Sometimes he might pick 1 foot off here like this. I'm going to put it back on the hip, move underneath him again. You can see, okay? So I can have my foot on the hip, I can have my foot on the bicep, I can have my 2 feet on the hips, I can have 1 on the bicep, 1 maybe behind the knee. But the important thing that we're thinking about is my feet are doing something all the time. Okay? With kids, we call this busy feet. Busy feet. Keep your feet busy. Busy. You can see if I'm rotating, I lose it, I move around here like this. We're going to be nice and relaxed. If you grip super, super tight on these sleeves right now and you don't have a comfortable hook grip, in about 10 minutes time, you're going to be like old lady, okay? Who's done far too much knitting in her lifetime, okay, with arthritis, okay? So, again, you should be thinking about these being relaxed grips, okay? So all we're going to do is, as we move around, I'm going to get Porrick to move a little slower. A little more easy. I'm going to change my foot position, adjust, up my elbow. Oh, we're not going to do that today. Put it behind his knee. Have him move. Look, he's pummeled one off. You see that? What I'm going to do, shake around, put it back to his hip, adjust, put it back in his bicep. When I feel I'm losing one, I don't fight it, I just re-pummel. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to do today, is be more relaxed. So sometimes very often when you see the guard or spider guard, or any position actually really, when you're starting out, is you fight what isn't there. Instead of, you kind of grimace and try to do it harder instead of just thinking, okay, I've lost it, I need to re-pummel and regain position. So this is like a little retention and spider guard drill. Busy feet, relaxed grips, but strong grips, good grips but relaxed grips, busy feet and movement all the time. Yeah? All good? Let's go, partner. 3, 2, 1, 3. So, to get to the collar sleeve variation. So, we're going to start 1 seated, 1 standing. So, in this position now, I need to get to my good guard. He's even though I've got 4 limbs to operate with and I've got good movement to move around the mat, he's still pretty much in charge because if he dictates the pace, he's got gravity and he's got his footwork as well, okay? So I need to make sure that when I go for a guard, that I'm not just going to sit back and do this. That's just going to mean I'm going to get my guard pass pretty quickly. Okay? So we're going to think about the same thing that we've talked about before in our stand-up classes. So when we do the stand-up class, the first position is always the grip fight. So we're always fighting with our hands first, okay? My hands out in front. And what I'm going to do, meaty 2-on-1, we're holding a hurley or a baseball bat, okay, here, so that I can pass 1 spider grip here, okay? It's going to be on the mirror side. Once I do that, I'm going to shunt between his legs, and that's going to give me the collar grip here that I want. If you're here like this, and let's stand a bit more square, I know you don't normally do that, but today you're going to do that. So from here, if you try and like pull him like to get the collar here like this, his instant reaction is going to be to pull back, you know, or just like reach away, and you won't get anything, or posture up really high, and when he does that, you're not going to get anything, okay? And it's very hard actually to pull somebody down just with one sleeve, okay? Or even with the two, here like this. So what you're going to try to do instead of pulling down is you're just going to try and push between his feet. Push between his feet, and there, suddenly we have it. Okay? Nice hard high collar grip. And from now, my same side foot as I have the hand. That's it. Okay? And Park nearly got a kick in the face for struggles there. We'll edit that bit out. So from here, meaty 2-on-1. Push, collar grip is there. When you're going to sit back now, what you're going to do is sit onto the, so I've got right hand on his sleeve, right foot going to his hip, and that means my right hip is going on the mat, my right butt cheek. Here. And we're going to put that in the bicep. Okay? Let's have a look at that from another angle. We'll do here. Meaty, 2-on-1, take your starter grip, out to the angle. From here, foot to the bicep. Now everybody's going to say, is this really like any good? Because what's going to happen next, the guy's going to pull it here, but what did we say? We're just going to keep pummeling. Every time he tries to take it off. And actually it's going to become very difficult for him to take it off. If I put it here. Like so. So this is our entry. 2-on-1, collar grip, sit to the guard. All good? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. So, let's just point another thing out when I go here. Catch, push, here. Is I'm not going to pull him on now, like this. So I don't ever really want to do that, because if I do that when I'm like sitting to guard, it's more like I'm just falling backwards, okay? And if I do that and he manages to get that hand across, just sweep the foot off me here like as I fall back. It's a very simple pass from, okay? So what I need to do is go to him. So don't pull them onto you, go to him. So after you get the 2-on-1 here like this, you can see that I go to the angle and I go to him. So don't think about like, when we pull guard, we call it sitting in the bucket, you know, plonk. But here we're already in the book. So we're trying to think about going to an angle, go to the side. It's a really good habit to get into, because when I go here like this and I go to the side, it's going to set up our first attacks anyway tonight. But you can see that he's at a disadvantage anyway, okay? Because he can't really attack like square, which is the way he wants to, and I can just follow him with my foot on the hip here, and my foot on the bicep, and I can use my movement, okay? So once you get your foot there, the other thing to do is to not think about like just placing it. I want to think about like this pressure here, push, pull. I always want to think, I want him to look like he's drawing a bow. So whether I do that with the 2 sleeves like I did in the warm-up, or whether I do it like this, it's all good, okay? So good tight pressure here like this, pulling this on. And here's a little key for you if you're a beginner, is don't get into this grip fight. Instead, bring your elbow in, and now just lock your elbow there, and have him just pull. All right? And now it's his arm against your upper body. It's not your arm against his arm anymore, doing this. Just that. And now, it's much tighter, it's easier for me, okay? And you're gonna need that. All right, so let's do our first thing. Actually, I like to attack this straight off as soon as I pull the guard, so this is a really good one to like almost go for as soon as you get it. As soon as you establish good grip, you're gonna go for this. Push, sit. I pulled him on top a little bit there, to be honest, I'm not proud of that. All right, bicep control here like this, going here. Now that I'm at the angle, you can see that he's here. But if he doesn't have his foot here, step your foot back, no problem. Oh, come back. Yeah. Keep your balance. This is my best sweep ever. So I can't see his foot. If I pull him onto me, his foot's going to come pretty quick. Here. Okay? Now from here, I'm going to release the collar, keep my foot in the bicep. I'm going to swap grips really quickly. Okay? So, take the collar off. Pass the grip here. One thing about passing grips, guys, is we don't do this and hope to get the second grip. We do 1 potato, 2 potato, okay? 1 potato, 2 potato. Catch. All right? What we got here, we got tripod. We got the basics of the tripod. My little finger's on the mat. I take my foot off the bicep now, go behind this calf, push with this leg, pull, and slide my other foot down. And I'm going to come up, combat-based position inside. So I'm using his momentum to bring me up. I'm going to keep this here. Okay? Let's look again. Push, meaty 2-on-1 grip, collar grip here like this. Foot to the hip and go to the side. Bicep control. Exchange the grip, take the foot. Behind the calf, as you kick, slide it down, and come up to here. Let's just have a look at one mistake that people are going to make. Just go this side so you can see the back of your foot. One mistake that people are going to make when they do this sweep is when I switch here, they're going to put the foot behind the knee, in which case the guy will squat. And now you don't have to sweep more. Okay? So when I go here, I put it behind his calf, like this. Now if he squats, or whether he squats or not, doesn't really matter. All good? Use the momentum, keep the grip for now, but don't like lunge in into a triangle. Keep here like this. You're ready to pass then, yeah? I'll say, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's get into position, okay? And they're going back like this, here, okay, straight back. And they're wondering why they can't get back like onto their side. And the short answer is most of you have your foot on the mat. So what did we say at the start of the class? We said busy feet all the time and that our feet were constantly doing something. So once you put the foot on the mat, honestly, there are loads of times you put your foot on the mat. I'm going to say it's a rule tonight not to put your foot on the mat, but there are plenty of times. You know those rules of Jiu Jitsu. Never have a straight arm, except for all the times you need a straight arm. Never do this, except for all those times. But like it's a good little hit, particularly for what we're trying to achieve tonight, which is like busy feet and not relying on the mat to move, using your partner to move, and using your feet to upset him. So when I go here, right now my foot is busy and I'm on my hip. As soon as I leave that leg on the ground, I'm going to have to kind of like fall back, so you need to go back and get forward. So even if I put this foot up here on the hip, like I have to go back to my back because it's impossible to wind myself over here. Usually my knees are going to be together. So you're going to end up on your back. This foot, if you need to adjust, you feel yourself in your back, use him. Shift your hips, okay? Bring your hips underneath him. And use him as like what you were using the mat for, okay? Same again, if you like re-pummels now the arm, okay, you'd find yourself flat in the back, go back, get back again, come back again. Exchange, catch. One final thing, when we sweep him, we sweep here like this. Don't try and come up now with your foot still here. You're going to struggle. You got to tuck that foot. Little cameo there in the background. Bring your daughter to work day. So from here, sweep, tuck that foot. So it comes up here like this. And that's how you're going to use the momentum. And then of course you can just begin to pass if you want to. But for now we're just going to focus on coming up in the combat base, okay? Try it again a couple more times and then we'll get back to it, yeah? 3, 2, 1. Again, we're nice and loose and relaxed. When I go to sweep my opponent, like sometimes his reaction, his natural reaction is to like push forward, or even if I just like upset his base here, his reaction is going to be to push forward, sometimes like almost squat. Okay? What I'm going to do, like keep like this arm straight. This is going to be the key here. And this foot kind of soft. What I mean by soft is I don't want any tension in this leg. Tension in this leg is going to lead me to kind of almost grip his arm and stop me from getting this next position, okay? So I'll go slow first, because I actually want you to see it slow, and then I'll show you the pace I do it. I'm looking for him all the time, I'm always kind of going, and then I am going to go square, flat to the mat here, because that's going to change the position in the way I want to. I'm going to use my right leg here on the hip to lift my hips up, then bring my leg over the top for the triangle, okay? So the key here is this. Now ordinarily what people will do sometimes with a triangle or anything like that, they put the foot on the mat, but of course because your opponent is standing, it's very, very difficult for you to do this. Okay, let's keep going. That's all right. Yeah, okay. So from here, pushing, pulling, moving him around all the time, feeling that weight, feeling that he's solid, he's trying to stay here, and then shoot the triangle, okay? The important thing is my hips go up to him. I'm not trying to pull him down to me, okay? You got to chase and attack it by going to him. So your hips have to go to his chest. So from here on my side, move around here, square up, lift. Look how high my hips are off the mat. But also notice that I'm not bundling myself up like I'm stacking myself. Straight over the back of his neck, and then pull him down. Okay? Particularly for, like yourself, what did we say about getting bent double? I'm going to show a wrong way really quick. Getting bent double, getting stacked instantly, and even if you hold on to the triangle, it's quite sore. So, and longevity wise, you don't want to be doubled over, getting stacked on your neck all the time. So when I go up, look how I'm like a bridge here. And then as soon as I get here, down come my hips. I can grab his head, squeeze. It's a triangle. So the pace that we're looking for now is going to be oh, good. Yeah, let's give it a shot. 3, 2, 1. I'd like to do a bit of anatomy, guys. We choke his neck, we don't choke his back. Okay? This is his back, this is his neck. So when we do the triangle, we choke his neck. So, and it's going to be for 2 reasons. One, now when my left foot goes up here like this, I go straight over, look, it's touching my knee here, it's right over his neck. And you're going to say, ah, yeah, Barry, but you got long legs. And it's true. I'm genetically enhanced that way, right? But if you've got short legs, it's a tighter triangle, even though it might be not as easy to get. But it's going to be the same thing. What everybody is doing, or a lot of people are doing, is when they go up, they're putting their leg on his back, and then just getting any connection, which is fine. Sometimes I'll get that, but it's not optimal because he's going to be able to posture, as you can see there. So there's two problems with it. One, it's not going to be a good choke straight away. And the second thing is his back is strong, so when you land on his back, he'll keep his head up. So focus more on going straight up and down here. And now he can't keep his head up because you're on the back of his head. Yeah? Well, even if you fail to get that, like, and you just get here, okay, we're going to adjust. We're going to adjust quickly because he's still standing or still has reasonable posture. So we're not going to hang around, we're going to keep pulling his head down, we're going to get that leg over the back of his neck. Let's do a quick, we're not doing this in this class tonight, but let's do a short trick, like tip for when we get to here. We're going to pull the heads first, always first, and then I go to my shin, and I can lift that shin up and down. Don't try and drag it across the back, you'll just pull them into you. Up and down to finish. Okay? So the shin, or the calf I should say, sorry, is going over. Lift it over and onto his neck. Because his lat or his shoulder blade sometimes will be like a speed bump if you're trying to drag it over. That's probably easier to show when Power's on his knees. Can I just show one more time? Raise my leg right down there. So what I mean is if your leg's now like this, and you try and drag it, and he's got a hump of bone or muscle or like a humpback. You never know who might be in tournaments these days. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or whatever, so that's probably a bit cruel, is it? Shouldn't say that. So, but if I go here, look, it's a bit hard to do, so I'm going to lift it and drop it. That's what I'm talking about. Up and down. Here, like this. Now it's a perfect triangle. It's going to tap like straight away. So if you do get it, don't try and drag it across like that. What we're trying to do is go immediately onto his neck. Like if you're doing the guillotine, you don't go, I hope I get a big lump of his back first and then I'll adjust there. Try and get on his neck straight away. That makes sense, yeah? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. When you get here, so we covered kind of smash his head down, get his head down low. When you go for the triangle, from especially when he's already up, like he's in a standing position or a very high posture position, when I go and get it, my first instinct is sometimes I'll only hit it here. This isn't a great triangle, but if I go to the head, I can make it really good, very quick. So actually what I say to people all the time is, go to the heads almost first. And then you can adjust later, because the posture is their first line of defense. And as a result, when you break the posture, you've broken the first line of defense, right? So if you are struggling to get up there and you're only getting to here, this can create a lot of good things for you. Just immediately going to the back of the head, getting their head bundled in.